All right. Just like the four of you, the rest of the house guests moved in pods of 4. Each pod has been kept separate, but now it's time for all of you to come together and find out who you'll be living with and competing against for the $500,000 grand prize. Okay, here are 4 of your housemates.
Yes. Who is that? What?
Oh my gosh.
And with that, the new season of Big Brother is underway. Season 22 features some of the best in an all-star season.
But it's not all true. I mean, they can't be all of the all-stars, because if that were the case, our next guest would be on the show, duh. Please welcome back to the show our favorite Big Brother alum, McCrae Olson. Hey, McCrae.
How's it going? How's it going, guys? How's it going, everybody?
Pretty good. Happy Monday to you. Okay, big day.
Yep.
People love Big Brother, but before we get into season 22, if someone's not familiar with the show, give us a little scoop about the very basic synopsis of what goes on Big Brother.
Big Brother is a social strategy game where everyone lives together in a house. In that house, everyone gets powers and stuff like that. One person goes home every single week until there's only one person left who wins $500,000. All of this is broadcast live out to the internet 24/7, and you can watch people sleep on TV on the internet, basically. But yeah, it's just a social strategy game that people get evicted, and it's a little bit like quarantine life. You know, it's you're stuck. There's no TV. There's no outside influence. There's no books. There's nothing, no cell phones. So it's just a very, very straightforward social strategy game.
It is pretty basic. What do you think of the cast so far? Are any of those your former castmates?
No,
Okay.
My season is kind of blacklisted. We won't talk about that, but
I kind of want to.
I know it really is juicy. But the Janelle, who's been on the show, friend of the Jason show, she is on the show, and she's representative of Minnesota. She's played, this is her 4th time playing. She's the only person to ever play 4 times. So, I mean, we all have to put our collective energy behind Janelle to hope she finally brings it home and takes home a win for Minnesota, at least.
Well, we just saw her in the clip we played before we introduced you, McCrae. She's beautiful, she's wonderful, but I hear that there's some new twist in the show, that she was just saved last night.
Yes,
Explain this to me.
Yeah, there was, so every season they always like to introduce a new twist. This season the twist is they can play in a competition before everything shakes out, and someone can win that competition, get safety for themselves, and they can bring a +1 and give safety to someone else. Kaiser, who actually played in 2 of Janelle's first 2 seasons and was her ally, he won the competition and gave safety to Janelle. And the good thing about that is they were actually going to be targeted this week, so they really dodged a bullet, and it really shows the intuition that these older school players have. Like, these people haven't played for 14 years. They haven't been on TV for 14 years. We're in Big Brother 22, so this is 20 years of Big Brother. Some of these people haven't played for a while, but it's awesome to see their intuition take over and them just get back into the game immediately. It's really fun to watch.
So obviously they know what they're doing. They did some good game playing and using that save. Who else is playing the game well, or do you see any front runners developing already?
So there's a guy that I am a big fan of. His name is Ian. He's a little nerdlinger like me. He's a good guy. He's a previous winner, so he'll have a big target on his back. But I think that kid has the social savvy to work his way through this game, even with such a target on his back. A lot of people are going to underestimate him, but Ian, I'm a huge fan of Ian.
Okay, you mentioned him as someone who's good, who might have a target on his back. Anyone else you think might just be out there that's going to have that target the rest of the season?
So there's another winner, actually, Nicole Franzel. She's also another winner. The thing about being a winner is a lot of people aren't going to want a previous winner to win again.
Yeah.
So the thing about them is they're both going to have this huge target on their back, but as soon as one of them goes home, it's a lot easier to say, I want to sit at the very end of the game next to a previous winner, because no one else will give that person the win. So it's like an easy win for you if you sit next to them. So I mean, whichever one goes, the other one might stay till the end. The other, and kind of works like that. It's a very, very confusing, weird game, but the social strategy of it, I love it.
Yeah, it doesn't take much when you're watching it to get sucked into that world, especially since they have the live feeds. But do you want to tell us then who ended up on the block this week? Because we know who's safe now.
So the people that are on the block are Kevin from season 13 and Keisha from season 10. These are both kind of old school players that everyone wanted to see back. It's a really big bummer because, we haven't seen these people for so long. And, one of them is probably going to go home. It's kind of a bummer. But again, I'm just grateful that we're seeing all these old school players just be in the house,
Do you think they should let the winners back on? The people who've already won the money?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's the thing about the problem is that with Big Brother, you have to have everyone from all walks of life to come into the game to really get that social hierarchy and just the social gameplay. I mean, otherwise it's just like a charity. Then we should just put people that have nothing in the house and let them play, which I wouldn't be opposed to either. But I think the social dynamics of the game, it really is the best to watch when it really is people from all walks of life, all different backgrounds.
Right. I was reading an article online, though, that was saying that this season specifically, fans of the show think it's sort of set up, that they've already figured out who they want to win, that the first game was sort of set up. Explain this to those of us who maybe aren't as familiar with the show, and then tell us, do you think that's true?
Well, okay, so the fans they think that the executive producers, they think that they rig the game for certain people, the people that America loves. And to that I say, why didn't they rig it for me then? Everyone loved me.
Yeah. Duh.
No, I don't think they rig it. I think that production definitely has their favorites, but I don't think they outright rig it and stuff like that. The other thing about it is that all these people have known each other because they're all alumni. So it's a very tight-knit group when it comes to alumni. So they were all pre-gaming before the show even started. Everyone's in quarantine. Everyone's got their phones. Everyone's making text groups, and everyone's wheeling and dealing. And that's before the game even started. So I think that's what people are talking about when they talk about this is already all set up. I mean, some of these alliances that have come out during the season so far, we're on day 6, I think. But some of these alliances, they definitely were made before the show even started with people that weren't even necessarily playing this season. It's a mess in the alumni world. I'll report back when I have some more sources that I can cite here. I don't want to get anyone in trouble. Investigative
reporter McCrae, our Big Brother expert, thank you so much. We are definitely going to have you back. Love your breakdown of the season so far.
I appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
Thanks, McCrae.
No problem. Have a good one.
If you want to follow McCrae, just head to Twitter and search McCrae Olson.
Ole?
Oh, I
Ole?
always thought it was his full name. It's like my Ole. McCrae. I'm really interested in this season just because of what he was talking about, this pregame sort of setup people are talking about. I'm like,
we got to get that out of him.
Extra juicy.